And in studio, we are happy to have with us the chair of the Constitution Implementation Committee. It's Charles Nyachae, to talk about implementation, where we are and where we need to be. Thank you so much for coming back into studio. Charles, you're going to be a regular, I think, for quite a while as we continue to review how things are going. Now, there's so much action. We're waiting on the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has so much work to do, as we've seen. So many other issues, but I want you to set the scene for us. What have we achieved so far? What milestones have we achieved so far?
Well, Julie, I think the milestones we have achieved so far are, first of all, in terms of the legislative agenda, in terms of the fifth schedule and what needs to be in place, particularly with reference to the end of the first year since promulgation, what we are calling the 26th August bills. The timelines are tight, admittedly, but we believe we are on course. Out of about 24 pieces of legislation that need to be in place by the 26th of August, CIC has completed processing as of today, at least 15 of those. We are currently simultaneously working on another 6, and there are 2 that we are yet to receive from the executive, but we expect to be able to receive those. And as long as everybody goes the extra mile within the next 4 weeks or so,
we will achieve.
We will achieve, yes.
Wow. Now let's talk about the milestones that we have not yet achieved that perhaps we should have. Challenges that lie ahead for us, things that need to be done. Let's keep our eye focused on the most important. What are they?
Okay, I would look at it slightly differently. I mean, there are things that we ought by now perhaps to have in place, but I would look at it from the perspective of it's part of the process. For example, ideally, the Supreme Court should be sitting by now. We have the case that relates to the finalization of that process. But I also think it's important that we go through that process so that we have an important organ that is truly acceptable to everybody and accepted as, being able to serve its purpose. So I would look at it positively. One hopes that that court process will soon be behind us, and the Supreme Court will be sitting. But what I consider to be milestones actually are the processes that we have adopted and accepted. The way that constitutional officers, it is accepted that constitutional officers now, there is a certain procedure that must be followed. We have accepted the principle of transparency and accountability, participation of the people, and we expect that these are now institutionalized, and we really cannot go back as far as that is concerned. If you were to ask me today, in terms of the process, what in terms of constitutional appointments should be done today so that we move forward. As we all know, the current Attorney General, his term constitutionally comes to an end on the 26th of August. I think it would be good if we sort this out before the 26th of August, so that we don't suddenly on 26th of August find ourselves
we don't have an Attorney General, and everything is done last minute,
which
seems to be the style, and you wonder if it's actually intended to be that way for a reason.
Yeah, and I think that will cause us a little bit of unease, and I will be taking, or the Commission will be taking this issue up with the appointing authorities. I'm sure they are addressing it themselves, but it's an important one for the country.
Charles, it feels like there's a wind of change sweeping over this country. I think we are starting to feel that this is a different Kenya we are living in. Give a final word to our viewers tonight on, we keep trying to talk about our responsibility as individuals. What would you say as your committee does its work and everybody else?
My final word to the viewers is the same thing that I keep saying. Read Article 3 of the Constitution and remember your obligation to uphold, to defend, and to protect that Constitution. And you'll do that in so many ways. If it means that Kenyans have gone to court to enforce provisions of the Constitution, to get interpretation, all these are good things. But more importantly, for us to be able to achieve what is envisaged there is our mindset. And this must cut across. We must accept that we are in a new constitutional dispensation, and it's one that we have chosen for ourselves. It's one that we have adopted. So I will urge Kenyans to remain vigilant, On our part, we will deliver on our mandate, and as long as we continue to have the support of the people of Kenya, which I believe we do, they can hold us accountable insofar as our mandate is concerned.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Charles.
you.
Good to have you in studio.